So we want to compare the password, right? We want to compare the password. So we can't do this, as I said before now, because we already have a string here and this is what is being entered. So if you try and compare this, if you look at it from the human eye, these two are not the same. So, but we want, this was actually hashed to this. So there is an upgrading for us to be able to compare that. So we're still going to go back to bcrypt documentation and read the documentation and see what to do with that. So let's go a little bit on the bcrypt documentation to see how we can compare. Now we see this is how we compare plain text. Very simple. You say compare the plain text, then you hash it, then put the then function if you want to do it this way. I always like the short way, the one that goes with the sync, the compare sync. That's the one I'm looking for. Okay, so you can do it that way. See, very, very simple to do that. So you can also do it this way, bcrypt.compare the plain password that you want to compare with it. Is that okay? And the hash password itself. That is the password entered by the user, then the password that you're getting from your database. So it compares it, then you write your function. Is that okay? So I think the one I'm looking for is beneath down. So let's go check that out. Okay, bcrypt.generate sort. Okay, I go down .compare async. I think this is the one I want. So this is it. It's just going to say compare sync. Then the plain password that was entered and the hashed password. That is it. So you're just going to compare that and boom, it gives you your results. Very simple to use. So let's go and use that up. So instead of us writing this, if data.password is equal to this, no, you don't do it this way anymore. So we're just going to put this inside this if statement. So this is it. We'll paste it inside this if statement. So we'll say bcrypt.compare sync, right? My plain text, then the password. So the plain text is the plain text that the person entered. So which is password, right? That's the plain text the person entered. Then the hashed password was the one coming from the database. Don't forget the one coming from the database was stored in data. We said if data, right? So it's going to be data.password. So instead of hash, we're going to put here data.password. And boom, we are good to go. So data.password will compare. Now, if this is the same, then it's just say log in successfully. So we say login successfully. So that is it. Very simple to use. So it's just a comparison, that is in the bcrypt.compare sync, right? Then if this and this is equal, then it should be able to print out this. So I should have take this one off. Then this is what you're just comparing. So if this compare password, if this password that you entered is the same as the one you're getting from the database, then it's going to say successful. Now, what if it is not? If it is not, you're just going to send something to the front end again and say, send a response and say res.send, right? Or res.status. The status is also 200 because everything went on well, never had errors. Send. So you can as well send or .json. You can send it to the front end. So what do we actually want to send to the front end? Request.this.json. So we're going to say that is if it does not work, we'll say invalid password. Invalid password. Or wrong password. Let's just say wrong password. Wrong password. So that's what we're sending to the front end. So right here, we are doing res.send. Instead of us just doing this res.send, let's do res.status, which is also going to be 200. Right. Okay, 200. And this one, we can make this one 201. Not really okay, right? So let's make that 201. And this one is going to be 200. So we said login is successful if that happened. So login this .json. So we're going to print out this one. So once this comes in, so it's going to send it to the front end. So let's quickly give this a shot with my name now. So if I come in here, this is my password. So I enter. Let's see what we're going to get. Login successful. That's fine. That means it has checked for my email. It saw that my email exists and the password. Now I want to just flip it. Let's assume my email is wrong and my password is not correct. It's correct. So the first check that it's going to do is going to check for the email. So it might not even bother to check for the password because the email already is wrong. And both of them must be correct for you to actually be able to log in. So I'll just do that quickly. And if I try to do this now, it's going to tell me invalid email. And if I change it to the way it's supposed to be, which is .com, and I just change the password, don't bother about this because it's not seeing this. We never created anything for that. So it's only seeing the password. And I change the password to maybe 7, and I try to run this. It's going to look at the password and say wrong password. So it's working now. This is the login already working. So we can log in, and if we put in the right password and the right stuff, we should be able to get something from the front end that is login is successful. So this is all what we want. Now, the next thing that we're definitely going to be doing is how we can set up our cookie. So that's another advanced section. So we are stopping this section. This section ends now. So we start off with another section. So this section is a little bit, the next section is a little bit more advanced than this section. So we're going to be talking about sections and cookie, how you can set sections and how you can set cookies, etc. Then we can then see how we can store this our data permanently, such a way that you log in today and you'll see the persistence for about 5, 7, 8 days, or even 1 month. It all depends on the section time that we actually want to work with. So your data should be available all through. So that's what we're going to be looking at in the next section. Thank you very much. Bye for now.